straightaway down to turn number 5. But now we're starting to see the cream rise to the top. The guys we've seen battling for race wins as Malkhassian and Stout make contact, and they both go hard into the tire barriers. Ara Malkhassian, who had a great qualifying effort, led some laps early. He and Robert Stout, one of the winners at Indianapolis, mark a 2-car accident. And we've got a full course caution as those cars got hard into the tire barrier. We do see Stout moving around in that vehicle. Malkhassian is as well. But, boy, what a rough outing for both of those drivers.
And that gives us an idea of exactly what's at stake here, as hard as those guys are racing.
Yeah, boy, they were running tooth and nail there, battling inside the top 10. Again, Ara Malkhassian and Robert Stout. Stout's been so fast, so impressive this season, Mark Janes. He's going to try to wiggle his way out of that race car, but a full course caution here at Road America. Here's a replay, Mark, as they battled into a right-hand turn.
Yep, it looks like the 11 just kind of squeezed him down a little bit, and the 28 of Gallagher, or 28 rather, had nowhere to go. That's some would refer to that as simply a racing deal with Stout, but two guys going after the same piece of real estate there, and that the driver of that 28 machine after the win last week at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Walking away and doesn't seem any too pleased.
See, the men in orange, that's the Homatro safety team. They travel for all of the Verizon IndyCar sanctioned event weekends. Of course, the MX-5 Cup is sanctioned by the Verizon IndyCar Series, so they're here to help these drivers out. They get to those cars nearly immediately to help those drivers out of the race cars, make sure they're okay. And again, good to report that both Robert Stout and Ara Malkhassian out of those race cars after a tough break. For Malkhassian, again, was up front. He had led the previous lap mark, and he got swallowed up, passed by Hernan Palermo, and then again, getting down to that right-hand turn. Those two make contact, and big hits for both of those drivers into the tire barriers.
Mo, we visited with Pete Calhoun last weekend, the BF Goodrich marketing manager. They were all smiles, especially after race number 2, because we had some pretty significant rainfall move through, and the designation was wet. Typically, when you see a racetrack dry and you have quote-unquote wet tires, those things start to shred, the grip goes away, and this, that, and the other. That was one whale of a day for BF Goodrich because the drivers just couldn't be complimentary enough about the tire that they provided for the race, considering the challenging